Yeah, put you in the past. Try to take advantage and then bit you in the ass. Crazy that I thought that me and you would ever last. Now it's rent money due, money owed and never cash. Brand new Benzes, I escalate. Nice housekeepers, top chefs and maids. You played yourself, I just want to remind you. Take what you came with and close the door behind you. Your character, your attitude defines you. Me, I can do whatever I put my mind to. Don't holler when you see me coming through, cause fucking with you, all I got is rent money due. What's up?
I just want back what I put into this, and then I keep moving. All up.
What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. Thanks for joining me. Off the top, the man-made holidays I'm not really with, but I'm gonna give flowers to all the mothers out there holding it down. You hear this all the time in memes and all that. Do you really need this recognition? If you know you're doing what you're doing, what's the need? What's the need? But still, I shout you, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Off the top, motivational, positive vibes, new moves, new week, new month, new quarter. 6 types of rest everyone needs. Mental rest. Give your brain a break. Do you really give your brain a break? Some of us, intellectual folks, we're always on go. Our brain is always, what's next? Because life don't stop. So everything you figure out, now you got to figure something else out, and it just keeps going and it's going. Do you really take a minute to say reset and take that mental break? You need to acknowledge that. Next is physical rest. That's easier because you feel like as long as you just go to sleep, that you got physical rest. Just going to sleep doesn't mean you got physical rest. It just means you're attempting that. You really need to rest your body. Completely shut down. There's maybe some steps that each individual has to take to achieve this. It's not about just laying down. Some people need mental meditation music, lights out. Some people need a light on. Some people need a candle, aromatherapy. Like there's ways to manipulate to get this physical rest, which in tune go hand in hand with the mental rest. Emotional rest, authentic and honest with your feelings. That has nothing to do with sleeping. Knowing where you stand and knowing how you feel about situations, fully embracing that and applying it, because it's easy to go with the flow. It's easy to just wing it. It's easy to just, I'm here. No, it's deeper than that. And I think the more authentic and honest you are with your feelings, the less unimportant situations you'll find yourself in. You feel me? The less things you're settling on. Less drama. Less toxic. Because I think you only encounter, let me tread light. I think you mostly only encounter that when you're not being authentic and honest. Because if you know you're not with the riffraff, why put yourself in situations where that can happen? I know there are situations where it was out of your hands. That could happen. But I'm talking about for the majority of the time, the majority of your moves and decisions, you should be able to control that and not go through bullshit. So emotional rest, just as important. All of these are just as important. Social rest. Social rest. When relationships, all kinds, leave you feeling drained and exhausted. Okay, I just read it wrong. Yeah, that's the rest from relationships that left you drained or exhausted. Whether that's friendships, intimate, etc. So you take a step back from this as well. That's going back to Emotional rest, being honest about your feelings. So if you feel the need for this social rest, you honestly have to admit that and take yourself out the equation for a minute. Step back, give space, or whatever. I know sometimes that come off as selfish and random, depending on how you approach it. But if that's what's going to get you right and that's what you need, because this word selfish, I'm stepping off for a second. It's a thin line because you do have to display some selfishness sometimes to get you right. You know what I mean? It's all about the transparency and the talking and the being clear on what you're doing. And to the people who deserve that, everybody doesn't deserve an explanation why. But I'm saying for the people you deem important, that you're just taking a step back. You feel me? But there always is going to be some form of selfishness that you display in order to get right. It's just a thing. You can't really run from that. But yeah, social rest just as important. All kinds of situations that leave you drained or exhausted, you need a rest from. You need to take a step back. Spiritual rest. That's from when you're so caught up in your issues that you can't see or connect with the bigger picture. All of this ties again. From the time I said the emotional and the social, spiritual is right next there, right next to that. So you zone out. I could even go back to the mental rest, giving your brain a break. Because if you're not, that's where this spiritual rest is needed. Because again, if you're so caught up in your issues, your brain is on go. You too focused on the present moment. I know the present is in front of you. Leave the past behind you. So what's going on currently is all you can see. I get that. But to get past it, you got to look at a bigger picture. You got to foresee the future. You got to kind of have an idea to an extent of where this shit is going, where this shit is headed. Where am I headed? Where am I going? What's my game plan? What's the moves to get this game plan rolling? It's not rocket science, but it's like we don't apply it because we stay so settled in the moment. We stay so fixed on day to day. I'm surviving day to day. The people that live check to check. No shade, no judgment. We all been there. You know what I mean? So you gotta go past what's just in front of you. You gotta kind of look to the side and go, now I'm headed that way. Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'll be there in a minute. So you put that in the air and you aim towards it, but you gotta apply it. It's not just about wishing things. This is not wishing on a star. You gotta apply it, apply yourself, and make shit happen. But you gotta connect with the bigger picture. Stop getting so caught up in the now. It's not, you can't avoid now, but stop getting so caught up in it. You know what I mean? Try to figure something out for yourself to get past where you're at right now. Because even if you're doing well, there's always better. Keep striving. You know what I mean? Thriving. Sensory rest. Need rest from overwhelming their senses, constant stimuli, all day TV, social media, computer, phone. So they got all fancy with the words. Basically, sensory rest is to let go of the things that you overabundantly do day to day. Your social media checks, all your platforms you on that phone, you on that phone. The device, I'm saying, you need a rest from that. You do. We, in a 24-hour period, know who wants to admit in a 24-hour period how much they're on their phone. And if you really look at it, it's wild. It's addictive. Dopamine. TV, for those who work from home or not working, no judgment. All the shows you binge watch and all of that. It's cool to catch up with that sometimes. But all day television, no good. The couch potato effect. You know what I mean? Even your laptop. You know what I mean? All day? Nah. You need rest from these devices. Go back to the time, people who can relate, when we ain't have all these. I mean, you know, I've been in the era of television, but I came from the era where it wasn't cell phones like that yet. We had the beepers and the pages, right? So we wasn't, this social media thing, we was without it. Go back to that. Not saying to never entertain it, never open it up. It is entertaining, but do you realize how much you really be on there? I analyze myself. This is not even just coming at y'all. I realize I be on it too much. Now, I got things to show y'all. That's why. You know what I mean? So I get a pass. But if I wasn't chasing this music and this pod, I'd have to take a lot of step backs. Sometimes I still take a step back. Like, this shit don't deserve all my energy. It really don't. It really don't. There's so much other things organically, naturally you can do with your time. Focus on the bigger picture. What's ahead? Cool. So I think that went through all 6. Let me just name them again for you without the breakdown. Mental, physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and sensory rest. You can Google more about this, look it up, make a breakdown that you can understand, and try to apply this and see how often you can do this, because that's a true reset, a true recharge. All 6. Let's keep it pushing. Don't chase, don't beg, don't stress, don't be desperate. Just relax. When you relax, it will come to you. Make what you want you. Easier said than done, right? Don't chase. Who we talking about here? Men or women? Sometimes I get these topics, questions, and it's not really singled out for specific gender. You know what I mean? So don't chase, don't beg. Don't beg could be for everybody. I think don't chase is only for women. Men have to do I don't want to use the word chase, but God, pursue. So let me not dissect this and sound like I'm against it. Fine. Men and women, don't chase. Don't beg is easy. I sound crazy saying that, right? A lot of people do be begging, right? But the confidence you have in yourself, the security you feel in yourself should have you like, beg for what? Beg for what? Earn. You can show value in your moves. Beg for what? Nah, I'm not hearing it. That shit easy to not do. Don't stress. Not so easy. I think the more successful you are, the more goals you have, the more intelligent you are, the more ambitious you are, it's kind of hard to avoid not stressing. You really should limit how often and how much energy is exerted into that. But to not stress when you are abundant, when you about something, it's gonna be kind of tough. Try your best to limit it though. You gotta limit it. It can't take over. It can't take over. Don't be desperate. Who are we talking to? Again, who are we talking to? Confidence, security. I don't mean financial or physical. I just mean secure within yourself again. Should be easy to shake shit like this. But I've seen a lot of desperate shit. And it don't even mean you're that bad or I'm judging you. It's like sometimes life does challenge you and you may have a desperate moment. And let's go back. You may have a begging moment. You may have a chase moment. But in overall, I can't really let you off the hook. The only thing that you should allow or will happen, no matter how tough you are, is the stress. So that's the only thing here. Everything else you can have moments on. You better limit it though. It can't be a pattern. It can't be the norm. The more you mature and learn life lessons, this shit should cease. I'm just keeping it a beam. Don't chase, don't beg, and don't be desperate. So I'm going to go against the grain on this actually. Nah, I'm not really going against the grain. I could pick one. I didn't have to agree with all of it, right? So me saying the stressful part you can't really avoid all the time. It's just a reality check. It's not me saying I disagree with this statement. So I was misquoted. I do believe just relax. And when you relax, it can come to you. That make what you want you, that's work. That's work. Understand you're going to grind for that because it ain't going to just come. And just these steps right here is not going to make it come. I'm sorry. Just because you don't chase, beg, stress, or be desperate, things are not going to come to you. It's just going to put you in position where you may get some of the things you want. You still got to do a lot of other things to achieve shit. Feel me? So this is not no cheat code and you're not just getting out of here like that. Understand? Cool. Close the window that hurts you, no matter how beautiful the view is. Close the window that hurts you, no matter how beautiful the view is. I would add to that and say, I hope there's some curtains, drapes. So it's not just about closing the window, it's completely blocking it off. Because closing a window metaphorically is just like the air and the sounds from the view, correct? But when you put the curtain over it, now you really can't see either. Because I don't want to see what I can't hear or smell or sense. So that was deep. Close the window that hurts you, no matter how beautiful the view is. Fire. Fire. Is it better to be really... What? This is the way people sent it. Is it better to really be alone and feel alone, or to have a crowd around you and still feel alone? That sounds like some issues. No cap. You deal with yourself, right? You have to deal with yourself. Deal with your issues. Deal with things that trouble you, bother you. One way or the other. Look in that mirror. See what you see. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things. So, I can't say which one is the cheat code. Like, yes, when things are rough for you per se, you may need a moment alone. You may. It's easy to dissect the whole crowd around you and you still feel alone. Something's not right in that circle. You have just a bunch of crate carriers. Maybe a bunch of yes men, yes women. Maybe just energy, period. Just to keep you distracted. That's not healthy. That's not the way. You don't just have a crowd to have a crowd. It may feel good in a moment. And I think that's a lot of why these social events are useful for people. And people like go to that. Oh, like Eventbrite. And oh, there's this boat ride coming up. Or there's this lounge. There's this fete. There's this bashment. These things excite people to go around, to go socialize. Music, drinks. I'm not bashing that. You know what I mean? I didn't bring that up to make that a bad thing. But I know that that's not the cure for when you're going through shit. It'll be a distraction. So yes, we don't want a crowd around if you still feel alone. But then again, you got to face your own battles and demons. So no good crowd still can help you. Still can't help you with your issues. So what is the crowd really for? Because if you don't handle your shit on your own, even the best crowd around you can still feel alone. See how that works? So it goes back to self. It goes back to self. You got to do work on yourself before you even put these type of scenarios in play. Because don't nobody supposed to help you feel anything. You just don't want people taking away from your legacy, taking away from your good energy. That's it. That's it right there. Everybody, hear me clear. You don't owe me nothing or anybody anything. Just don't take away from my shit. I know, was the last pod. Oh, add to your happiness. Cool, that's cute. You can add. You got something to add? No doubt. But I ain't expecting that. Not off rip. That entitlement shit. Nah. I hold me down. Just don't take from my hard work. Don't take from my good energy. Don't take from my wisdom negatively. Stay over there with that. You hear me? Because I put in work here. That's what I do. So you can try to like feed off of it to see how you can motivate yourself. That's the whole purpose of this. It's the whole reason I sit here. Take it to make you better, but don't take from my shit, and you don't owe me nothing. Sorry, I had to give you some harsh reality real quick. And that's life. And you'll get far thinking like that. It's sad. It's sad. You want to paint this fairy tale picture and you wish life was smoother, but it just don't work like that. You think that you got to hold you down and you only could depend on you, that will get you further than sitting here delusional thinking people got your best interest. People going to help you out. People always going to stand tall. It's not true. That shit is cap. Understand, you are responsible for you, your moves, your thoughts. Control that, and that's fulfillment. So I don't have an answer. Is it better to be alone or with a crowd? I know you got to deal with your shit, and if I got an answer to be politically correct, just to voice a reason, I think it's better to be alone and feel alone than to have a fake-ass crowd around you, or you think you want to use the crowd to gain any type of ground on the fact that you feel alone. That's all I got for you on that. I don't care if you took 10 losses last week. Wake up like a winner today. Yeah. I mean, some things are just statements. It doesn't really need a breakdown. Shout out to everybody who sent me stuff. You gotta look at it like that's not it. The story's not over, no matter how bad it's going. I mean, how often do I say this? How often do I gotta repeat? I'm starting to even feel like I'm a repetitive person, because you wake up. I tell you, if you woke up, just the fact that you woke up from whatever happened last, good or bad, you got a chance to redeem, replace, replenish. So that's all the motivation that should be needed to get it rolling back in your favor again. You got to think, though. People think they could just bust moves. You got to think it, then achieve it. You got to think it, then physically go try to do it. But it starts here. It always has. So if it ain't here, you're not going to make no real substantial moves. You're going to be stagnant. You know what I mean? So yeah, go back. One more time to move on. I don't care if you took 10 losses last week. Wake up like a winner today. The key word there is you woke up. Fire. What they hate in you is missing in them. Keep shining. What was I just going on a rant about? Don't take from my shit. You don't owe me. I'm not looking for a handout. Just don't disrupt the shit I got going on negatively, right? So when you feel energies, and I was just talking with somebody that was like, yo, you dope like that. Like, you really pay attention to energies around you. Because I think I was like in the supermarket or something, and I felt like weird vibes around me. Like, it wasn't even a social event. That's a fucking supermarket. I'm just going to get a few things. But like, even in just that moment, I felt energy that was like, that shit was fucking with me. But, excuse my French on that, it's true. We are not using our good senses, our good, whatever skills we have. People who are observant, people who are intriguing and interesting. You know what I mean? Like, you have shit about you that you can shine and you can flourish if you used it for good. Because a lot of the bad people in the world got some good qualities inside. They're using that to be bad, though, because there's some trauma or some damage in there mentally. But I feel like there's some good in even bad people. It's just they're choosing to go this bad route because they don't see fulfillment in being good. They don't trust the process. They don't trust that living righteous gets them anywhere. For whatever reason, whoever corrupted them, whatever's traumatized them, whatever influence has swayed them that way, who knows? But you still are all aware even in your darkest phases of your life. So to hate on something that you see that's a good look is just wild to me. Like, what kind of dysfunctional shit is that? Because I thought, and just because I think it don't mean it is, but no matter what state I'm in, if I see somebody shining or I see some good that's going on for some people, why would I hate on that? If anything, that should motivate, damn, you know, they got it going on over there. What can I do to get it going on over here? What can I do to get it popping over here? That's dope. You know what I mean? Or if I'm already on the rise and I see good things coming for me and I see somebody else getting it going, like, yo, keep going. I'm headed there too. I'm en route. That's a perfect world. I'm asking for too much. People don't think like that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I don't see how that should be a good thing all around. If you're down and out in life and you come across somebody who's up, I feel like that should drive you. I feel like if you're on the way up and you come across somebody who's up, that should drive you. Like, I don't see where the disconnect come from. That's a self thing. That's a self-traumatizing, and you got issues. You really got issues you need to address for yourself, not to impress nobody and not to discuss with just anybody if you feel you don't want to talk about it. But go in that mirror and you may have to chat with yourself, because something's wrong if this line is true. And I believe it holds truth. What they hate in you is missing in them. How you gonna hate? Yo, shit is wild. That person most likely, the one that has what you're missing. Do you know what they had to do to get that? And that's on the petty tip, because who cares? It's still a good look. But what? Like, if somebody was born a millionaire and they have to work, you gonna hate on that? Yeah, they got the easy route. That's just lucky than a mother. Yo, you be like, that's a lucky person right there. But why would I hate that? That's just what it is. It is what it is. There's nothing in this world that's yours alone. There's nothing that makes the world focus on just you. We all just living here. Whatever you get, whatever you do to make yourself happy or to make yourself feel satisfied is stuff that you just gotta do. You should only watch other movements and other people in a positive way. Because if you don't, whatever you're looking at is a distraction in a negative way. If you got any kind of malice for it or you watching just to be negative. That shit is crazy. I'm done with that. Thanks for that. You can't run from the mountain you was born to climb. Wow. That one, that's the first one that got me for the day. Sheesh. You can't run from the mountain you were born to climb. Amazing. I think the mountain, it just represents your journey in general. So whatever you were put here for, in order to feel that completeness or almost completeness, almost feel whole, I guess you got to climb that mountain. Because if trying to avoid it will always have you feeling empty. It will always be a void. There will always be concerns like, damn, why don't I feel complete? Why don't I feel like I have my purpose filled? Like I achieved the ultimate goal that I set for myself. You know what I mean? It will always be questions, is my point. It will always be questions trying to avoid this mountain you were born to climb. So easier said than done. You're not going to just get up right now and go climb it. But you should be making steps and preparing yourself to see the best way you can climb it at a pace that's substantial. Nothing here says a day, a week, a month. But get to it. Find your purpose. Get to it. You hear me? All right. Love is giving someone the power to destroy you and trusting that they won't use it. Wow, back to back. It's getting heavy. It's getting heavy in here. Whew, it's heating up. Yo. That alone may scare 80% of you. Who heard that? Love is giving someone the power to destroy you and trusting they won't use it. I'm going to marinate on that for a minute. I'm just going to sit here with you on that. How many risks and gambles have you taken? How many times were you disappointed? How many times do you go back and allow it again? Shit is crazy. I can understand, not saying I'm supporting it. I can understand why some people have thrown in the towel on this and will continue to move spicy for the rest of their existence because you gave this a shot and they destroyed you, or they tried to destroy you, and you're like, nah, not again. I ain't doing it. Now, there's some lack of patience, lack of faith. Do I want to say lack of maturity? Not really. To say that you're throwing in the towel on this. Because if it's something you've wanted, now why did you want it? Organically, naturally, genuinely? If that's what you want, you're going to have to, what it said, 10 losses last week. If this is something you want, you're going to have to roll the dice to get it. A lot of things ain't happening on the first go round. I'm just saying. That's the entitlement shit again. And that's the mentality of today. People feel privileged. You feel because you're dope, you're great, you grind, you pay your bills, you keep yourself clean, your hygiene's right, you dress fly, you got money. So what? That don't mean you get it on the first try, everything you want. Are you bugging? A lot of people pay their bills. A lot of people are clean, hygienic. A lot of people have intelligence. A lot of people dress fly. A lot of people, yo, you ain't special. You think you special? Only you supposed to think you special though. Be your biggest fan. But still, if this is what you want, you gotta roll the dice. Now, I'm not going to judge you and say if you throw the towel in that it's something you never wanted genuinely, but it sort of resembles that if you stay in that place of never again. You could take a break. You could say, I'm going to step back for a minute. You know what I mean? I've been chasing this a lot. Let me chill out. I get that. But to throw it all the way in like never again, I don't think you really wanted it. And that's cool. This is a day and age where it doesn't have to be what's drawn up as far as, you can't avoid the mountain you're supposed to climb though. Let me support that. But this thing about getting married, having kids, building a family, that sounds like the ultimate dream, right? The ultimate thing to keep the population going. But today's day and age, there's a lot of that not happening, but people are still fulfilled. You can still have fulfillment if you don't follow these traditional ways. But just keep it real with yourself. Anything you want, you're going to have to roll the dice and take the punches to get it. Do you go to the car lot? Some people do. When you get some money and you want a car, you run to the first lot, take the first car, that's it? Or do you do some research to try to get the best car at the best price you can? The same rules apply in everything you do. Another thing about my little run to the grocery shopping supermarket or whatever, I'm looking at prices like, yo, this is a bit high. Do I want to be lazy because I went to the nearest supermarket and so whatever prices that is, that's what I got to take? Or am I going to drive around? That sounds crazy because you're wasting gas. So it's about even, really. I'm just talking about mentally just being aware of the money being spent on certain items. And then maybe you could think, all right, if I need sugar, I'm going to prepare myself next time to get it from somewhere else because the sugar is fucking high here, even though it's down the fucking block. Little analogy that's a little wild for you, but understand. If you want something, you got to put in work for it. And that's just it. And you're going to get burnt along the way. It just is what it is. I'm not saying to not step back and chill out. And I'm really not judging if you throw the towel in for real. But just understand your ambitions behind that. Did you really ever want it? Or you just wanted the sound of that? Or the illusion that it creates? But that was one of the realest for today. I ain't gonna hold you. And it keeps going. On a roll like butter, baby. Your direction is more important than your speed. A lot of people are going nowhere fast. I didn't put this in order like this. These is just banging them. I'm just knocking them out the park with this. Check it out. Take your time to develop a plan. Take your time to see where you at, where you stand in your life right now. Where are you right now? Where do you want to be? Where did you come from? You may have to write this down, get your little journal to really see growth, to really see that you got something in motion here, that you're not just sitting on your ass, that you're not just going to stay in this same place. You are going to make moves, but you got to apply it. Where did you come from? Where are you now? Where are you going? Time. Timely decisions. You could just keep roaming aimlessly. You could just keep winging it, day to day in it, and it look like you busting moves and you really not. You really not. Set realistic goals. Whatever you want to do. 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. And I don't care how much you grind. You could grind out till you could barely stand. You still shouldn't rush the process. Oh, I want this in a month. Yeah, but 6 months is more calculated. 3 months is more calculated. Because now it's more logical, strategic versus emotion. Most of the moves you try to bust right away is an emotional decision. Yo, tomorrow I'm going to... If you got it like that, you'll argue me down. So if your paper's that long, you work for yourself, you got your own schedule where you make it, you'll argue me that you can bust a move like that. But let's be real. The average person can't do that. So it don't gotta be a month. Plan for 3. Plan for 6. But your direction is way more important than the speed. And the closeout. Ooh, big, big, big. Yo, these last ones, I ain't gonna hold you. You can add... No. Stay with me. Ooh. You can't add days to your life, but you can add life to your days. Oh, I'm closing the monitor. Close the monitor, boy. Did you get that? You can't add days to your life, but you can add life to your days. Making things count. Being aware that you can't add days. So to utilize and be the best you can be for the days that you are here, because they're numbered and it's counting. The countdown is a thing. So while you have your strength, while you have your senses, mobility, try to achieve the most that you can. Try to help and show value to whoever's around you. positive energy that's around you. Know when to exit stage left from things other than what I'm telling you. Stop wasting time on pointless situations, wasted energies, negative energy. The list go on and on. Be strict. Be selective. Be firm with what you expect, with what you want for yourself, with what you want surrounding you. Take control of that. You'll see how that adds life to your days. Because if you're always feeling drained, if you're always feeling exhausted, if you always got a bitter taste in your mouth because of some shit, you feeling like just like your enemy of the state and life just keep punching you, something is wrong. You got to do something to make that change. You just going to take that beating? You going to just keep taking that beating? You got to make a change. I don't know what that change is based on the individual, but you got to do something, or you just going to lay down. You might as well just off yourself right now. I'm not encouraging that. Someone's going to take that literally. I know. Damn, how you going to be a positive influence and say some shit like that? Because wake up. Don't off yourself. But wake up and know time is limited. So let's add some life to our days, since we can't add days to our life. Once again, always thank you for joining me. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, comment, like, share. Voice of Reason NF. Till the next time, stay productive, stay positive, stay pushing. Stay safe. Peace.